Top 6 Masturbation Mistakes After 60 that destroy pleasure and confidence. Hello friends, I'm Dr. Sam Wells. Today I want to talk with you about a topic we rarely mention, yet it has a huge impact on health and confidence after turning 60, circulation and pleasure. In other words, how your body experiences joy and vitality through every subtle sensation. Let me tell you a story. Ella Nena, a 74-year-old woman, once stepped into a bathroom in the morning as usual, but suddenly felt dizzy. Her heart was beating normally. It wasn't a heart attack or a stroke, but clearly something was off. After looking into it, the cause turned out to be linked to a habit she had kept for over 50 years. A habit many women are told is completely normal, masturbation. But the issue wasn't the act itself. It was the way she had been doing it for decades. What seemed harmless at 30 can become a hidden risk at 70. Blood vessels lose elasticity, hormones drop. The skin becomes thinner. All these physiological changes make the body more sensitive to small pressures we often don't notice. Have you ever felt like that? Moments when you wonder if your body still reacts the way it used to, or when pleasure feels like it's fading quietly. One of my patients once shared that she felt disconnected from her own body, as if it no longer knew how to enjoy pleasure. In this video, I want to help you understand these habits and how to adjust them, not only to protect circulation, but also to restore confidence and reconnect with your body. If you're interested and want more healthcare tips for women after 60, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Together we'll explore, listen to the body, and learn to care for ourselves gently but effectively. Understanding your body after 60 is the key to maintaining circulation and pleasure. As we age, the body goes through changes many people don't notice until they show up in small daily signals. One of the most important changes in circulation is that blood vessels gradually lose elasticity. They no longer expand and contract as easily, making blood flow less smooth. This directly affects sensitive organs, including the genitals, where good circulation is vital for sensation and responsiveness. Hormones also decrease. These chemical messengers regulate desire, recovery, and pleasure. For women after menopause, estrogen drops sharply, impacting skin health, vaginal tissue elasticity, natural lubrication, and pleasure. For men, declining testosterone can mean reduced desire, fatigue, and weaker erections. These changes don't mean the body is broken. It's asking for a new kind of care that matches your age. Skin becomes thinner, weaker, and more vulnerable. Fragile tissues make the body more sensitive to pressure, friction, or old habits carried over from youth. For example, fast or forceful masturbation that caused no issues before can now create micro-injuries, reduce sensitivity, and impact circulation. A patient once told me she didn't realize she had gradually dulled her own sensitivity until pleasure felt flat, and she started worrying. This is when we need to shift perspective. Instead of feeling ashamed or afraid, understanding the body allows us to adjust. Think of the body as an old tree. Its roots are deep and trunk strong, but its branches need gentle care to stay vibrant. Once you realize that circulation, hormones, and skin are changing, you can make small adjustments. Deep breathing, relaxing the body, reducing pressure in old habits, and giving more recovery time between activities. Another key point is that reduced sensitivity is not a failure or a cruel sign of aging. It's the body's way of asking to be heard. In my clinical practice, I've met many men and women over 60 who felt confused about diminished pleasure. But once they adjusted how they cared for their bodies, circulation improved and sensitivity returned. With awareness and understanding of hormonal, circulatory, and skin changes, people can regain confidence and maintain pleasure safely. Ask yourself, are you still using old habits that no longer suit your body? Or have you started listening to the subtle signals it sends? Realizing that the body changes with age is not shameful. It's an opportunity to love and care for yourself more deeply. By understanding your body, you not only protect circulation and prevent micro-injuries, but also restore sensitivity, maintain desire, and preserve natural pleasure. The physical changes after 60 are inevitable, but how we face them determines quality of life and long-term health. Think of your body as a trusted friend that needs to be listened to and cared for. Understanding your body isn't just medical knowledge. It's a way of living, respecting every heartbeat, every sensation, every experience. With this mindset, every day becomes a chance to connect, love, and fully enjoy life. Even as age advances, mistake 1. relying too much on fantasy or overly stimulating content. One of the most common mistakes in masturbation after 60 is relying heavily on fantasy or overly stimulating content. Many older adults get used to using romance stories, vivid memories, or pornography to achieve pleasure. These images, videos, or intense fantasies can overload the brain, straining the nervous system and reducing the ability to sense natural pleasure. When dopamine, the neurotransmitter linked to happiness, becomes desensitized, real pleasure feels harder to reach, and the experience feels less natural. At 60 and beyond, the brain and body have changed. Blood vessels are less elastic, hormones lower, skin thinner. Using overly stimulating content forces the brain to process too much, leading to fatigue, poor focus, and reduced awareness of pleasure from touch, scent, or sound. If old habits aren't adjusted, the body can lose connection with natural sensations, affecting circulation, energy, and overall health. The consequences of over-reliance on fantasy or external stimulation go beyond reduced pleasure. They impact mental health too. As dopamine sensitivity drops, you may feel bored, tired, or uninterested in other activities. Relying too much on pornography or vivid fantasies can also create habits that are hard to break, making the body less responsive to natural stimulation. This undermines confidence and the ability to connect with a partner or even with yourself. The solution is to reduce dependence on high stimulation content and refocus on real bodily sensations. Instead of leaning on strong images or memories, direct attention to touch, smell, and sound, creating a more natural and intimate experience. Focusing on real sensations allows the brain to rest, dopamine to rebalance, and natural pleasure to return. In practice, slow down during self-pleasure, breathe deeply, and observe your body. Notice your skin, heartbeat, and breath. This not only enhances pleasure, but also supports circulation and calms the nervous system. You can also adjust the environment. Soft lighting, favorite scents, and gentle sounds help you focus on the real experience instead of getting caught up in fantasy or overstimulation. Changing this habit also builds a new relationship with your body, one of respect, care, and gentleness. As you reconnect with real sensations, both brain and body benefit. Circulation improves, the nervous system relaxes, hormones rebalance, and natural pleasure returns. The key is patience and consistency. The brain needs time to adapt and let go of old habits that rely too much on fantasy or external stimulation. In short, relying heavily on fantasy or highly stimulating content is a common mistake, but one that can be fixed by reducing dependence on pornography, focusing on touch, scent, and sound, breathing deeply, slowing down, and savoring real sensations. You can restore natural pleasure, improve nervous system health and circulation, and deepen your connection with your body after 60. Once you understand and adjust these habits, self-pleasure becomes not only safe, but also fulfilling and satisfying. Mistake 2. When masturbating after 60. Daily stimulation without rest can harm the nervous system and circulation. When people reach their 60s, especially those who are retired or living alone, it's easy to fall into the habit of masturbating every day as a way to relieve stress or find comfort. At first, this might seem harmless and even soothing, but over time, constant stimulation without rest can have unexpected effects on the body, particularly the circulatory and nervous systems. One of my patients, Linda, age 72, shared that she would usually masturbate every evening to ease her loneliness. At first, it felt satisfying and pleasurable, but after a few weeks, she began noticing fatigue, reduced pleasure, and even occasional numbness in sensitive areas. These are signs of overstressed nerves and circulation that hasn't been given enough time to recover. The reason is that the body functions like a finely tuned system. When we stimulate ourselves daily without giving the body recovery time, the nerves and soft tissues in the genital area don't get a chance to restore their sensitivity. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter that generates feelings of excitement, also becomes desensitized, making real pleasure harder to achieve. Blood flow can also be disrupted, leading to overall fatigue, lower energy, and even subtle effects on blood pressure. Think of it like muscle training. If you exercise the same muscle every day without rest, the muscle becomes sore, weak, and unable to grow. The same is true for the sexual system and nervous system. They also need recovery time. Instead of thinking the more the better, treat pleasure as a delicate experience that should be savored, not a task to be completed daily. The solution is simple but essential. Give your body time to rest between sessions, focusing on quality rather than quantity. Instead of masturbating every day, try spacing it out by a day or two, or even longer if you feel tired. When you return, the pleasure will be deeper, stronger, and safer for your circulation and nerves. Another patient, Thomas, age 69, told me that once he started taking breaks between sessions, his pleasure not only improved, but his sensitivity increased for the next time. He also noticed his heartbeat became steadier, his mind clearer, and his sleep deeper. This shows that rest is not just about mental recovery, but also about protecting the entire body, including circulation and the nervous system. You can also support recovery with simple methods like deep breathing, light exercise, or soaking in warm water to boost circulation before and after masturbation. This helps the body restore itself more quickly, nourish soft tissues, and bring back natural pleasure safely. I want to ask you, have you ever felt that? Despite repeating the same daily habit, your pleasure kept decreasing and your body felt drained. If so, that's your body telling you it needs rest. Adjusting your habits, reducing frequency, and focusing on quality not only restores pleasure, but also protects your nerves, circulation, and long-term vitality. The key lesson is that masturbation after 60 is completely normal, but not resting enough between sessions is a common mistake that can affect pleasure, the nervous system, and circulation. We need to learn to listen to the body, respect every real sensation, and prioritize quality over quantity to maintain pleasure safely and naturally. Mistake 3. Poor hygiene or using unsafe tools is one of the most common causes of sexual health problems after 60. When women pass 60, the body no longer recovers as quickly as it once did. The skin is thinner, blood vessels lose elasticity, and the immune system is weaker. Because of this, poor hygiene during masturbation or using unsafe objects can cause far more serious consequences than in younger years. I once met a 68-year-old patient who came in with chronic vaginal infections. She admitted that she hadn't washed her hands beforehand and had used a household item not designed for that purpose, which led to her condition becoming severe. Poor hygiene is the leading cause of infections and irritation in sensitive areas. Many people think that a quick and discreet approach is enough, but in reality, our hands carry countless bacteria throughout the day. Introducing those bacteria into the body, especially into fragile vaginal tissue, greatly increases the risk of infection. For older women, natural moisture decreases, and the vaginal environment is more fragile, so even a small oversight can cause burning, itching, and long-term discomfort. Unsafe tools are another mistake many women overlook. One 72-year-old patient told me she used a small round plastic object from her home for stimulation. Thinking it was clean and convenient, the result was skin irritation and even scratches to the delicate tissue. The problem here isn't masturbation itself, but the choice of tools. After 60, the body isn't as resilient, so contact with hard, sharp, or chemically treated materials can damage soft tissue, cause pain, and even restrict blood flow to sensitive areas. The long-term consequences of poor hygiene and unsafe tools aren't just limited to infections. They can also reduce sensitivity, making pleasure harder to achieve. Repeated damage to the tissue can make nerves in the area either oversensitive or numb. This not only affects the ability to feel pleasure, but also lowers confidence in private life. Imagine this: if every time you try to care for yourself, instead of relaxation you feel worried about pain or infection, that joy will eventually disappear. The solution is simple but often overlooked. Always wash your hands thoroughly with mild soap before touching your body. If you use any tools, make sure they're designed for the human body, easy to clean, and made from safe materials. Some products made specifically for older women are crafted from medical-grade silicone, which is soft and non-irritating, a much safer option. Cleaning tools after use is just as important, to prevent bacteria from building up. More importantly, we need to change our perspective. Caring for sexual health after 60 is nothing to be ashamed of. Many people hide their habits, afraid to talk to doctors or loved ones, which means they only seek help when complications appear. But if you see this as a natural part of life, you'll feel more confident in practicing good hygiene, choosing safe tools, and protecting yourself. I often tell my patients, your body is like a home, and every small action is like how you maintain that home. If you let dust and mold build up, the home will deteriorate quickly. But if you keep it clean, it stays strong and safe. The same goes for sexual health at 60. 70, and beyond. So remember, masturbation itself isn't wrong, but poor hygiene and unsafe tools can take away both health and joy. If you do it the right way, your body not only stays healthier, but also gives you confidence, pleasure, and peace in your private life. Mistake 4. Holding your breath and clenching pelvic muscles during masturbation after 60 can silently harm your health. By the time people reach 60, the body has gone through many changes, especially in blood circulation and pelvic muscles. But many older adults, when masturbating, have a habit of holding their breath and clenching their pelvic muscles tightly to achieve faster pleasure. This actually reduces blood flow and takes away natural sensitivity, which can harm long-term sexual health. Why is holding your breath and clenching the pelvic muscles dangerous? When you hold your breath or squeeze the pelvic floor too tightly, blood struggles to reach the genitals. Reduced blood flow lowers sensitivity, making orgasm harder to achieve. Holding your breath also increases pressure in the chest and cardiovascular system, which is already weaker with age. For people with heart conditions, this can cause fatigue, dizziness, or even more serious risks. The consequences of this habit include reduced sensitivity. The body gets used to tension, dulling natural pleasure and interest. Lower lubrication. Poor circulation means less natural lubrication, leading to dryness and discomfort. Strain on the nervous and circulatory systems. Holding the breath stresses the nervous system, disrupting hormones and leaving you drained afterward. Cardiovascular strain. For older adults with high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease, this can increase the risk of stroke or heart attack. Safe solutions for people over 60. To avoid these issues, older adults should practice breathing deeply and relaxing the body during masturbation. Slow, steady breathing not only improves blood flow, but also enhances natural pleasure. Relaxing the pelvic floor keeps the body flexible and prevents strain on nerves and blood vessels. Here are some simple practices. Breathe deeply with your belly. Inhale through your nose. Let your belly rise, then exhale slowly through your mouth. This brings more oxygen into the blood, boosts circulation, and enhances pleasure. Relax the pelvic floor. Instead of clenching, let the muscles work naturally. Kegel exercises can be useful for strength, but during masturbation, relaxation is key. Engage other senses. Focus on touch, sound, or scent instead of muscle tension. This creates safer, more natural orgasms. Stop if you feel tired, if you notice shortness of breath, dizziness, or rapid heartbeat. Pause, rest, and breathe evenly. These are signs of strain. Understanding this helps maintain long-term health. Masturbation is not harmful. In fact, for older adults, it can relieve stress, improve sleep, and boost happiness hormones. But doing it with poor habits, like holding your breath or clenching pelvic muscles, can turn the benefits into risks. By understanding the body and adjusting habits, you can continue to enjoy pleasure while protecting your heart, circulation, and nervous system. Mistake 5. Rushing during masturbation after 60 can cause serious consequences for both physical and mental health. At this age, the body has already gone through many changes in blood circulation, hormones, and nervous sensitivity. When older adults develop the habit of rushing, focusing only on quickly reaching orgasm instead of enjoying the process, they unintentionally put pressure on the body and reduce long-term pleasure. In reality, rushing not only affects immediate sensations, but can also lower confidence and the quality of sexual experiences in the future. The most obvious consequence of rushing is the sudden change in blood vessels. When blood flows rapidly and is forced to expand and contract in a short period of time, the vessel walls, which are already less elastic in older adults, can be easily damaged. This can cause injuries in soft tissues, leading to pain or reduced arousal. Sudden vascular changes also make circulation unstable, sometimes causing lightheadedness, fatigue, or a sudden loss of desire. This is an important warning sign that older adults should not ignore. Another consequence is reduced sensitivity and imbalance in the pleasure-related nervous system. When masturbation happens too quickly, the brain does not have enough time to regulate dopamine and oxytocin levels. The result is desensitization, meaning the next time it takes stronger stimulation to achieve the same satisfaction. This not only diminishes the quality of pleasure, but also reduces self-confidence, as many begin to worry their bodies are no longer the same. In truth, the issue lies in the habit of rushing, not the body's natural ability. The most effective solution is to slow down and fully enjoy the journey. Older adults should view masturbation not as a task to finish quickly, but as a process of exploring the body and nurturing emotions. Instead of focusing on the final outcome, pay attention to each small sensation: the change in breathing, the warmth in the muscles, the sensitivity of the skin. With relaxation and patience, the body naturally responds, improving circulation and creating gentle, lasting pleasure. One helpful suggestion is to combine deep breathing with mindfulness. When breathing slowly, oxygen reaches tissues more effectively, supporting natural lubrication and enhancing nerve sensitivity. At the same time, staying present instead of rushing helps the body release more endorphins, bringing relaxation and happiness. Older adults can try the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds. This not only controls heart rhythm, but also strengthens the connection with the body. In addition, changing the environment and creating a comfortable space also reduces the urge to rush. A quiet room, soft lighting, and gentle scents from essential oils can transform masturbation into a holistic experience for both body and mind. When all the senses are engaged, there is no need to hurry, and orgasm comes naturally. In short, mistake 5. Rushing during masturbation may seem harmless, but it greatly affects sexual and mental health in older adults. Remember that pleasure is not only the destination, but also the journey of self-discovery. Slowing down, enjoying each moment, relaxing the body, and connecting deeply with oneself is the key to sustaining fulfillment, confidence, and happiness after 60. Mistake 6. Not paying attention to the body's true sensations is one of the main reasons many people after 60 struggle to maintain comfort and enjoyment during masturbation. At this stage of life, the body undergoes many changes. Blood vessels lose elasticity, hormones decline, and skin becomes thinner. In this context, repeating old techniques or habits from youth while ignoring the body's signals can lead to a loss of natural connection. Without awareness, self-care becomes a series of mechanical actions rather than a source of relaxation and happiness. One of the most noticeable consequences of ignoring the body's true sensations is reduced pleasure. When you focus only on technique or rush through old routines, the brain stops processing subtle signals from touch, scent, and breath. As a result, the body becomes desensitized, orgasms become harder to reach, and natural joy gradually fades. Ignoring body signals can also lead to other mistakes, such as holding the breath, tensing the pelvic muscles, or using unsafe tools. It is also important to note that after 60 pounds, the body responds more slowly than before. Continuing with overly forceful habits or repeating the same old techniques can increase the risk of micro-injuries in blood vessels and nerves. This not only affects circulation, but also reduces long-term sensitivity. Studies also show that declining hormones combined with the habit of ignoring body signals can reduce natural lubrication, causing dryness or discomfort. The most effective solution is to learn to listen to your body. Instead of viewing masturbation as a task, treat it as a journey of self-connection. Pay attention to the smallest signals: heart rate, breath, skin sensations, and shifts in mood. Focusing on the present allows you to clearly feel each moment and the body's subtle changes. This restores natural balance and enhances the quality of the experience. A simple but very helpful technique is to breathe deeply and relax throughout the process. Steady breathing not only improves circulation, but also brings the mind into a calm state. You can also add gentle elements such as soft music, calming scents, or soothing light to strengthen the connection between body and emotion. Instead of chasing orgasm as the end goal, let the body lead and enjoy the process. Curiosity and small changes also play an important role. After 60, you can explore different ways of touching, use lighter hand movements, or vary the environment and posture for freshness. The key is always to respect the body's limits and avoid forcing yourself to meet any expectation. By learning to listen to and respect your body, you not only avoid mistakes in masturbation, but also create a deeper and more complete experience. This is not a matter of age or hormonal decline, but of awareness and attitude. If you are willing to adjust habits and pay more attention to what your body is whispering, pleasure and comfort can absolutely be sustained at 60, 70, or even 80. In conclusion, not paying attention to the body's true sensations is a common mistake, but one that can be completely corrected. The key is to shift your mindset. See it as a journey of connection, not a task. Enjoy each present moment instead of rushing for the result. By listening to and working with your body, you will rediscover balance, sensitivity, and the natural joy that age cannot take away. To maintain balance and sexual well-being after 60, changing masturbation habits plays a very important role. Many older adults fall into repetitive routines, making pleasure dull, leaving the body fatigued, and losing natural desire. By applying simple but effective adjustments, you can improve both physical and mental health while keeping intimate experiences gentle, safe, and meaningful. Start by slowing down and breathing deeply to reconnect with your body. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to change old habits is to focus on deep breathing and slowing down during self-pleasure. Many people unconsciously hold their breath or tense their muscles, which reduces blood flow and limits the ability to feel pleasure. By breathing steadily, deeply, and relaxing your body, you allow blood to circulate better, helping you relax and enhance the quality of the experience. This also helps maintain your energy and reduces the nervous fatigue that is common after the age of 60. Give your body recovery time between sessions to avoid fatigue. After the age of 60, your body needs more time to recover. If you maintain the habit of daily or overly frequent self-pleasure, your nervous and circulatory systems can become overloaded, leading to numbness, difficulty reaching orgasm, or overall exhaustion. That's why it's important to give yourself adequate rest between sessions. Prioritizing recovery not only protects your sexual health, but also helps you maintain long-term sensitivity and interest. Reduce reliance on strong stimulation to enhance natural sensations. A common harmful habit is relying too much on intense stimulation, such as erotic stories, videos, or old sexual memories. This overloads the brain with dopamine, making it harder to respond to natural pleasure. To adjust, gradually reduce your dependence on these sources and focus more on the real sensations of your body. When you tune in to subtle signals like your breathing, heartbeat, or the feeling on your skin, you'll find the experience richer and more natural. Focus on quality over quantity to maintain balance. After 60, what matters most is not frequency or how quickly you can reach orgasm, but the quality of the experience. Rushing and focusing only on the end result can cause damage to blood vessels, reduce sensitivity, and undermine confidence. Instead, see this process as a journey of discovery, savoring each moment. By prioritizing quality, you'll feel deeper pleasure, reduce stress, and maintain a healthier connection with your body. Build a new relationship with your body. Respect and nurture it. Finally, and most importantly, shift the way you view your body. Instead of treating self-pleasure as a task or unconscious habit, see it as an opportunity to nurture, care for, and respect yourself. When you listen to and honor your body, you avoid forcing it, while fostering a more positive and connected relationship with your sexual health. This is the key to sustaining happiness and confidence in later years. Changing your self-pleasure habits after 60 isn't just about adjusting behaviors, it's about refreshing the relationship you have with your body. By breathing deeply, slowing down, resting well, reducing reliance on strong stimulation, and focusing on quality, you can maintain a healthy, safe, and meaningful intimate life. The most important thing is to respect and nurture your body, so that every moment becomes a true journey of enjoyment and connection. Remember, every mistake can be corrected, and your body still has the ability to heal and respond to your care. Even if you've held on to poor habits for years, it's never too late to change. The human body has an incredible power to restore itself if you give it rest, proper care, and patience. Pleasure and true connection are never too late to rediscover. At any age, even after 60, you can still enjoy closeness with yourself or with your partner. What matters is not speed or technique, but understanding and listening to what your body wants to tell you. Listen to your body, love it, and care for it with gentleness. When you learn to honor your limits and nurture your feelings instead of forcing them, you'll find that your health, spirit, and joy for life are restored. The body may not always be perfect, but as long as you stay patient and connected, it will always respond with gratitude. Please share your experiences or questions in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more health tips designed for women after 60 pounds. Thank you so much for spending your precious time watching this video. Wishing you health, happiness, peace, and joy. See you in the next video, where we'll continue this journey of self-care and self-love.